And we are live. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's doing pretty good after, well, it's been a while since Turkey Day, but, some people celebrate it late. So,
That we
let's
ended up
see.
we ended up celebrating it on Saturday after Thanksgiving, 'cause that's when everybody could get together.
Yeah, we had to celebrate it a day after just because of our work schedule. But take a moment here and say hello to everybody that's in the chat. It's like we got 24 already in here. We've got J Dog, we got One Ton, we got Mr. Dockery, we got JP3, we have Lau, Catfish Weekly. We got the Haze up in here. We got Noah. I'm probably gonna mess this up. Noah Costello. We've got
Noah Costello and his sister Taylor out fishing with their father at Mike Costello Outdoors.
cool. We got D in here, Chad, JP3, Maurice Carson, the wife Tim Molina. Got a good little crowd in here. So tonight as y'all know, this is mine and Stan's actual first show together. He'll be my co-host, and we're working the show together. So we were sitting there and like, man, what should we do for our first show? This, you know, that's a tough one, because you want it to be good. You want to make sure, it works out, pans out.
And we were
So
going back and forth and throwing ideas and messaging, and
we was brainstorming. It's a good time. I think it's gonna work out pretty well because we're both on the same track. We're on the both same track of what we want to see and do. So I think it's gonna work out pretty well.
I think so too, Norm. I think so too.
So tonight's topic is going to be fishing on a budget. I have sent out a few links to some people to ask to come in. They're going to come in, and it's kind of like how Palmetto does his. He has people come in, talk about their what they like to use or what is budget friendly. Some people can't go out and afford and buy $80 and $90 rods, a pop. So it's nice for some of us budget fishermen to be able to go out and find good rods and reels and other stuff. It's not just rod and reels; it's line, it's tackle, it's the sinkers, the hooks. I'm all about budget. We just recently moved, and this house was a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So I'm on a budget now, pretty tight. So we got a few guests that's going to be popping in. We've had one or two that couldn't make it. That's okay, no big deal. So our first guest to pop up is going to be, if he's ready, is good old Catman himself. He is ready.
What's going on, everybody? Stan, Norm?
Catman, how are you, my friend?
Doing good. Yourself?
Doing awesome. Couldn't be better.
So how we doing, Jim?
Doing great.
That's awesome.
Hunting season's pretty much wound down until the end of February. I'll be going on a big hog hunt down around Cooksville, Tennessee, end of February for 4 days. But I'm going to try to ramp up on my fishing here the next couple months.
Now, I've noticed in your area, Catman, that a lot of people, most of the big blues come out of your area in the Ohio River. Now, there is some big blues in other parts, like northern Kentucky, I've seen. But anything like 80 to 90 pounds, I've all seen come down from your way.
Now, in Owensboro, where I live at, I've got a dam 30 miles upriver called Candleton. Mm-hmm. Got a dam about 30 miles downriver, Newburgh. You get on either side of those, and you can catch some pretty good fish. LG bass, what's going on? But here in the JT, I can't think of the last part of it. It's JT something pool. There's so many hoop netters and commercial fishermen. I mean, there was, 2009 was probably the best night fishing I ever had in my life. Bye-bye. It was 1 year after my dad died. I caught 16 fish that night. The smallest was 14 pounds. The biggest was 68, and they were all flatheads. In the same spot off the bank. I mean, they were just stacked up in there. You don't do that no more. That spot where I was at, you can see the tops of the hoops out when the river starts dropping.
That's crazy. So, Catman, what is some budget friendly gear that you like to use? You'd like to share with people?
I've been blessed here lately, and I've received the name brand rods and stuff at little or no cost to me, and I'm super thankful for that. But before I started getting into YouTube and doing all that, my go-to was the Eagle Claw rods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was fishing with 10, 11-foot Eagle Claw surf rods with, the big Okuma spinning reels on them.
Yeah.
And, the whole setup wasn't costing me like $35.
Yeah.
Shakespeare makes one called the Sturdy Stick. If you like a heavy action rod, one piece, it's comparable to the heavy action rods like Big Cat Fever and stuff. It's a little bit stiffer, but it's dang good rods, and they're $22.
Yeah, I've seen those online. I haven't got to actually see one in person or, hold one because I've never seen them in my stores. But I seen them online by Shakespeare. I think on catfishconnection.com, they're actually only like 17 or 18 bucks for those rods.
Yeah.
When I made 500 subs, I gave one away with an Okuma reel and everything on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And John Vincent won it. Good friend of mine. He comes down and we fish at the Mad Jacks tournament that Steve Douglas puts on, and he comes down for Monsters on the Ohio every year. But it's a good rod. You can't beat them.
So, what kind of hooks or line would you suggest to someone that's fishing on a budget? Line is not that expensive, but for someone that may be on a really tight budget, it may come down to choosing what line they want to use. So, what line do you use, Catman?
Honestly, just about everything I've got right now is spooled with 80-pound braid off Wish, $4.95 for 300 yards.
No, that is a budget.
And, I bought several different brands of it just to try out and see how they work. And I bought Power Pro at first, and I hate it. You couldn't give me Power Pro unless you wrapped it in $100 bills. I wouldn't take Power Pro line.
It's really rough, right, Jim? And the Power Pro's got a really rough braid, right?
Well, it's rough, but that's not. I was casting 4-ounce sinkers, and if it caught around the end of the eye or whatever, that 4-ounce sinker would break it off, just snap it. And I was using 65-pound test. And I thought, well, it's just a bad roll. I went and got some more, and it happened again. I just won't use it. If you're using monofilament and you're on a budget, Omniflex from Walmart, $1.75 a roll. That's it.
Yep.
That's the best monofilament. That's what I use for my leaders. I won't use Slime Line or Andes or any of those. I just, I'm confident with Omniflex, and I've never had a problem with it and never had anything break off. But if you can't get it from Wish and you want to fish braid, go to Academy Sports and get the Pro Cat line, $7.95 a roll, and it's good braid.
So, do you recommend any good hooks that are decent that would still tangle a big fish and hold up for the price?
For price on a budget, you can't beat Eagle Claw.
See, that's what I use. I use Eagle Claw sea circle hooks.
Yeah,
that's what I use.
But now I will spend a little bit more money on the hooks for them to be sharper. And all my terminal tackle I get from Dell Dunaway, Dell's Tackle.
Yeah, Dell's Tackle.
He's got good prices. He's cheap. His customer service is second to none. It's just what are you smirking about?
Palmetto.
I can't read the chats, but
I can see Palmetto down here at the bottom of the screen. He's making funny faces.
But I bought some 10-aught circle hooks from Dale, and I hooked into about a 3-pound channel cat. When he took off, I mean, he bent the pole pretty good. And I got up and reeled down on it, and it was like he just stopped fighting. And I could still feel the weight, pulling him in.
Uh-huh.
Well, that fish set the hook so hard, it went straight through the top of his head and killed him. It was coming out up above its eyes. Through the skull. That's how sharp those hooks are.
Dang. Jim, not to cut you off at all, but we had some other great people coming here in the chat. We got Lyle, Catfish Weekly. We got Mr. Chris Flores stopping in on our first show. Thank you very much. We appreciate the support. I don't know if we said Sampy before. I see Ace out there. Ace, hope you're doing better, brother. Mrs. Catfish Headhunters out there. Mike Turner listening to us at work. Hope you're not getting in trouble for that, my friend.
Yeah.
I think we caught up with everybody.
But I'm going to get off here and let other folks come in. I'm sitting here. Come here. Hey, come here for a second. Come here. Show everybody. Say hi to everybody. Say hi.
Hi, darling. How are you?
This is Addie K. She's my newest fishing buddy.
Hello, Addie K.
She's going to be hard to beat for future generations. I'll tell you that.
She's anything like her big sister.
She's a lot cuter than most of our fishing partners.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on. But I heard some people talking about the OmniFlex. Do not doubt the OmniFlex. I pulled in logs with 50-pound OmniFlex.
I use every single one of my leaders are made with that right there.
Yep. That stuff is tough like weed eater string. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Catman.
Jim, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you being here tonight.
Hey, I'm Jim Catman Clark. Lucky Catman Outdoor Adventures, and I'll catch y'all on the next cast. See ya.
That was awesome.
See you, Jim.
What a great start.
All righty. All right. Hopefully, Jim helps somebody out that may look into some budget-friendly stuff. Like I say before, be yourself. It doesn't take a real expensive setup to go out and catch some fish. Next guest we have coming up is Outside with the Hayes. Are you ready, Hayes? Okay, he's ready.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing
Good
well.
to see you, my friend.
You too? Been out fishing all day, and I caught nothing.
Oh, no. So, Hayes is a news channel. Tell us a little bit about your channel, Hayes. I know some people don't even know about you, so I want to make sure people can know that you do have a channel and you're just getting started.
Yeah, I started my channel back in September or October. I've been fishing for many years. Back in July, I caught a bunch of catfish, and I thought, you know what, I should make a show out of this. And I started looking around, and I found you guys. So then after I dropped a bunch of money, and you got a GoPro, and there we go. Now I have a channel.
Hey,
I started off
fun.
thinking, I started off thinking maybe I could just like do many different things, but I think that I need to focus on one. And right now, I think it's going to be just catfishing.
Yeah. So, Mr. Hayes, I'm gonna call you Mr. Hayes. I don't want people to know your real name.
My real name's Matt.
Matt. Okay. Okay. So we'll call you Matt. Let's see. What do you have to offer for a budget fisherman? What can you throw on the table for us to let them know what are some good products that you know that is budget friendly and that work and that can help somebody out that's on a budget?
Well, for starters, I started off like many of us, Zebco 33s. You get the Zebco 33 combo at Walmart. But I still have the rod that I have on the Zebco. I lost my other stick, but this one here is the Rhino. I don't know if they even still make it. I've had this thing for probably 12, 13 years. It's still bringing in like that 21-pound Leucott. That was with that pole. So yeah, you don't have to shake your head at the rods they got at Walmart. And they had the OmniFlex leader that you're saying. Yeah, I use that a lot too. That's good stuff.
Yeah, for $1.99, you can't beat that.
You can't beat that.
Palmetto still acting silly behind the scenes.
So Matt, what got you? What got you? Was there a driving force behind you wanting to do the YouTube video, other than you caught some fish and thought, well, this would be fun, or?
The driving force is that not only did I want to share what I knew, but I wanted to learn from others. So I figured that'd be the only way is by putting out content and having people maybe posting and say, hey, try this and try that. That's why a lot of my videos, I'm like, hey, I'm doing something wrong. Please show me. And, I get comments, people like, hey, leave your pole alone. Let the catfish take it. Stop picking it up. That's the hardest thing for me to do. I see my pole start bending. I'm like, oh, I want to jump on it. But yeah.
Especially with circle hooks. You got to let it.
Yeah, see, that's my biggest transformation is, I used to be a J-hook guy, but I have had a lot better hookup ratio with the circle hooks. Right. And, they don't call me ripping lips Norm for no reason, because I'm still setting hooks with the circle hook. I'm sorry. It's hard to not, you get that raw tip bending, you get that rod going, or your bobble goes down. It's just up there. You don't think, you just jerk it.
Yeah, I've jerked them and they flung up on the bank behind me and almost hit people. Yeah, I get a little excited.
I saw a bunch of people saw the video with Norm and Chad when they were out there live. And every time you went to grab that rod, you could just see Chad. If it was possible, he got redder and redder every time.
Chad gonna have to start wearing a baseball hat around me. So, Mr. Hayes, what kind of fishing line do you use? Do you got any budget-friendly lines?
I use the Cat Max 40.
Okay.
You can see that on there. I've had this about 2 rolls of these years ago. I don't know if they even still make it. Yeah. But I bought a 30-pound and 40-pound, and I also got the 12-foot Cat Max spinning reel and rod that I use a lot. But sometimes I feel like it's just too much. I'll yank up on the catfish. That's the ones I yank out of the water and they fling them behind me because I get so much power. It's like a 2-pound catfish I just yanked up.
that line's not going to stretch much with a little 2-pounder on there. So what kind of hooks are you using?
Well, I use a lot of Cat Max. I switched over to this Cat Max circle hooks. But typically I use, I do a lot of stink bait fishing. And so I use these tails. These right here.
Mm-hmm.
Stick down the stink bait. I use a Simple S stink bait, blood bait, and it's pretty much almost guaranteed every time I use it, I catch catfish like crazy. I'm trying to get away from it so I can use more live bait because it's cheaper.
Yeah, a couple of people have said that about this dip bait, that it's like one of their guaranteed go-to baits. What type of catfish do you normally fish for? And what area are you fishing?
Well, I live in central Illinois, so I go to, there's a lake near me called Clinton Lake. It's well known for a lot of blues and channels and flatheads. Mostly I catch blues and channels. Right now, that's the blues. If I'm catching anything, blues are what's biting.
Okay.
They seem to like the cold water better.
How close are you to Wren Lake up there?
Wren Lake is about 3 hours from me.
Oh, okay. So you're still pretty ways away from it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get that day off so I can come down and meet everybody down there and check Wren Lake, because I keep hearing how great that is too.
Yeah. They're also going to be having I know Law is holding one up at Mendota Lake too. I'd like to fish it too. Like it's got some big what's his name? Mark went fishing with him, hook catfish. Mark went out with him and they caught 20-something pound channel cats. I mean, wow. Yeah. That's just amazing.
Right. Throughout the years, I've tried fly fish and this and that. I actually, one year I caught a flathead on my fly rod on the river. He's a little 2-pounder, but you'd think the thing was 30 pounds. My pole was bent completely over, and
that must have been something. I fly fish. I don't do it too much anymore because of my back, but I love fly fishing. That must have been a monster.
I I was amazed that he went after it. But when he hit, it felt like a brick just hit my pole and just ran.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, but anyway, yeah, I think people, if they're budgeting, they need just go to Walmart, grab a nice Shakespeare ugly stick, and start right there.
Yeah, I think that's where
I don't think you
everybody
can break
starts
those
out.
things.
Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong. Even I really hate telling people to pick up the Shakespeare $17 combos or $19 combos. Now the spinning reels is really great with them, but the rod that comes with that reel is not that great. But the rod that comes with the spin cast is awesome. It's a really strong, heavy, freaking rod. I'm trying to watch my language here.
Right.
It's a really strong 6'6" rod. It is awesome. I'm going to be running 4 or 5 of those off my boat. $17 rods with, yes, I know I'm going to have it. People are going to be like, why do you want to do this? I want all Ambus on them, but it's not going to happen. $130 a pop for an Ambu C3. It's just not possible. Luckily, I already have 2, so I'm going to go with 2 other. I may go with Cast Kings, or I may even go with the Ming Yang CL60s, or something cheaper there to play with, or do 1 Cast King and then maybe 1. I can't even name it, So Yang or something like that. Real. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all see them.
Wish one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But this last trip I went out, I had that 6'6" rod with me. The little $17 combo that's a spin cast, not for spinning, a spin cast. And dude, that rod was throwing 6 and 8 ounces out there, and it didn't even phase the rod. And I had 40-pound big game, and I was out casting my 10-foot with it. It's just a really strong rod for someone that's, I'm wanting to push the rod to the limit. That's why I bought it. I just want to see how far I can push a $17 Walmart special rod. It's only why I'm doing it.
Yeah. That's worth it. I wish I could put more than 2 lines. In Illinois, you can only have 2 lines in the water per fisherman.
I know that when I come up here and fish with Avid, I brought like 4 or 5 rods, my 10 foots, my 8 foots, my 6 foots. And David said, "You're going to use 2 rods here." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, man."
Yeah, and they're sticklers.
All righty. Let's see. You got any more questions, Stan?
No, hey, it's just been a pleasure meeting you. I've seen you in all the chats. What an awesome supporter you started out. And as connected I am with everybody, I really didn't know you had a channel going. So if anybody we got moderators out there could put Outside with the Haze up. If I didn't know he had a channel, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that don't know that. And it'll be a pleasure to watch some of them, my friend. So it's been a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for coming up.
Great meeting you guys too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Hayes. See you, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Awesome. Great.
All righty. Next, we have in line. He's the one that's been making me laugh behind the scenes. Let's get old. He's already small. He knows who he is.
Making
Mr.
you smile.
Palomino.
I don't know how to make anybody smile.
So what's up, Kev? I know you've got some goodies to share with us for budget fishing.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's not really like super budgety, but it's like, if you don't want the Walmart brand kind of stuff.
It's a step up from that.
Right, right. It's not like the Abu Garcia and the Slime Cat rod. You know what I'm saying? Like or the Catch Fever insert rod brand here. Although there's, and of course, this goes without saying, there's nothing wrong with all that because I have some of them. But I'm going to tell you something that's really versatile, that's really inexpensive, is these things I've been trying to make you laugh with, is these gear ties. And y'all, he was laughing because I was, playing like a doctor, and I was being a drummer with them and all. But I use these to tie my rods together. And so my wife got me these for Christmas a couple years ago, and really they just sat around the house. And then when I got the pontoon boat, I was like, man, I can carry more rods, but I can't carry them in the upright position, so I had to lay them down. So I tied them together to keep them from going everywhere. And you can get these gear ties for almost nothing. And they came in a pack of 6, so I got a bunch of them.
They are awesome, by the way. My son had some, and it's like reusable zip ties, pretty much. They are amazing.
Yeah.
And you can use them for any, like when I was night fishing, I'd hang my light from the bimini top with them and wrap it around. Speaking of lights, these glow sticks, you can get these. Oh, I just cracked one. Oh well, there we go. I'm going to use one.
Dang, it cost you a penny.
Yeah, I know, right? You can get these Luma sticks on Amazon, and I think they come. I don't know. I don't want to. I think it might say how many's on them. There's at least 100, and you get them for $10.
Oh wow,
and they're basically you can get it from Walmart too, by the way. And basically they turn into bracelets. I was going to do a quick tip on them a while ago, but I decided not to for whatever reason. But anyway, you can take them, and when you have line on a rod, you just put these. They come with these little plastic connectors. You can just go around I'll put it lower so you can see it. But when your line is in there, your line will keep it from sliding down because your line goes. Here, let me get one with line on it instead of just having you use your imagination.
You're fine. Take your time.
I don't know if we said we got 1 ton out there. What's up, 1 ton? I see Creole came in. Ray Smith. I don't know if we said hello to you before. LG Bass. LG Bass everywhere.
All right, so here's one.
Still out there.
And this isn't the top of the pole, but it's too tall. So you put it behind the line and above the eye, and it hangs right there. It's not going to go anywhere. It went up. But
but it's not going to fall off.
Right. And so when the fish hits it, not only do you have the visual cue, but it rattles against the rod, and you can actually hear that. It'll cut through. And so you have a visual and an audio representation of a fish hitting, and they're very inexpensive. And when the glow stick is done, you can reuse these little things. I just take them off and throw them back in the tube, put the end cap on it. So there's that. You can get these from Walmart. And the alternative, I guess you would say, like, what's the alternative to that? Well, the whisker, what do you call them? Are they whisker sticks?
Whisker sticks, I believe, and I think it's called whisker sticks.
And the lightning bugs.
Yeah, lightning
bugs.
That's
like the next step up. So that's a cheap way to get those, and you don't have to replace batteries. You just, when you're done with 100 of them, which I've had them for 6 months and haven't used 100, you just buy another 100. So there's that. What do you want to see next? Reels?
Yeah, show me what you got.
Okay. Well, this is a Cast King Rover.
Mm-hmm. Did that handle come on that Cast King, or did you put that on there?
No, it came with it. It's a really nice handle. And
that's what I was saying. It looks really good.
Yeah, there's no need for a power handle for these.
Mm-mm.
So this is the Cast King Rover 60R. I don't know what the R stands for, but it's got the one thing that's really unique about this reel in this price range, which is around $54, is that it has the thumb bar on it.
Oh, see, I like it.
Really nice. Yeah. And I'll show you another one in a second that's around the same price that doesn't come with that. I know Junior Proctor uses these. Mm-hmm. I know Paula, I think, no, not Paula. I know Matt Baker uses them. There's a couple people that use them.
Yeah, Matt Baker had one, and I got to test it out. It was pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I like it so far. It's around $50-something, which is cheap for a reel.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one,
especially with one that has that many features on it. Bait caster, you got a good drag system. You can't really complain.
Here's another one, the same price range. It's the Ming Yang CL60. If you like blue, Kentucky blue, that's your reel right there. But as you can see, it does. I'm trying not to hit the garage door, but it doesn't have the thumb bar. It's got the little button there. Ugh. There you go. So for around the same price as the Rover, the Rover's around the same price as this, but the Rover you get the thumb bar on it, which I really like. But this reel's nice too. I haven't had any problems with it. And then the reels that I'm kind of I'm reviewing right now, I'm testing out, and I'm thankful that PC Fun, I guess, saw one of my videos and sent me 2 reels. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so they sent me a spinning reel, but this is I actually bought this one. This is the 50. I bought the 40 too, and I've used the 40 a lot. But the 50 is around the same price as the 40, and I don't understand that. But it's bigger. It comes with a power handle. It's around $53. Comes with a power handle. It's got the thumb bar. Dang it, I keep hitting stuff. Comes with the thumb bar, and here's my favorite part about these reels. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, wait. Can you hear that?
Yeah. You can actually hear the drag being set.
You can hear the drag. You can hear the drag. Dang it. Sorry. You can hear the drag, and you know that you're adjusting it. And the 40, the 50, and they just sent me the 60. They all do that. The 60, however, doesn't have the thumb bar, which I don't know why. I guess because it's bigger. But they're all in that 50. All 3 of those reels are in that $50 price range. And actually, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, PC Fun had a huge sale on Amazon, and they were selling them for under $50.
So you can find these reels on Amazon, correct?
Mm-hmm, yep. Okay. You can find all 3 of these. I bought all 3 of them on Amazon. You were talking about Walmart rods, and I started out. I'm sorry, I'm really unorganized.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Everything's falling over. You know how it goes.
Remember, y'all, if he breaks one, he's going to blame it on Norm. So
this is the GX2, Ugly Stick GX2. I'll never get rid of this rod. I have 2 of them. And they come, like you were talking about, they come with Shakespeare reels, and the reels aren't that great, but the rod is amazing. I have it with this Viper X on from PC Fun. I don't know how much that. I think it's around $40-something. But the GX2 is a medium heavy action rod for the backbone, but the tip is similar to like a big cat fever rod. It's really noodly. And so if you want a rod with a lot of play and the tip, especially if you're fishing for smaller catfish, you can't get any better than that. And I've caught a 40-pounder on this GX2, and it handled it like a champ. So I haven't caught anything bigger than that on camera, so I can't prove it. But the it don't count unless it's on camera, right?
That's right.
That's what they say anyway.
That's right.
But GX2, they sell them in Walmart all the time, and you can't go wrong with an Ugly Stick. Period. I know Stan uses them. Hey, boom!
Thank you, Theodore.
Theodore, thank you so much.
Anna wants to say hey. She's too short.
Hello, Anna.
Hey, Anna Banana.
Here you go. I'll lift her up.
Nice to see you.
And there's only one other thing that I had planned to show you. Look, your wife is giving you money.
Boom.
She's like, well, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. She's probably paying me to get her out of her way. That's what it is.
So my bait rod, one of my bait rods is also an Ugly Stick. And I love this. It's a little white Shakespeare reel. Now, for this light action stuff, this reel is a champ now. It's pretty. The whole rod is white, which I think is awesome. But that's not what I wanted to show you. If you fish with sabiki rigs, this is a video I have out. It's about pool noodle sabiki rig saver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you what, somebody just, I guess they just watched the video today, and it reminded me of it. They said that this changed, or I said it's changed my life, because I used to change out sabiki rigs every time I went out, because I refused to have them hook on my seats and in my hands and everything. So this really, it's just a pool noodle. I've slit down the middle, and it goes around the pole and everything.
That's a great idea.
And so you just wrap that sabiki rig around, and I mean, pool noodles are $1 at Walmart. You can't get any more budget than that.
And how many sabiki rigs has that already saved you?
Well, this is the first one I've had on it.
Exactly.
And I've used the same one for, I don't remember when I made the video, maybe early June. I don't know, maybe even earlier now. I can't remember. As far as lines concerned, if you're on a budget,
Ray, thank you.
I think you use this, Norm, don't you? The big game.
Yes, sir, I do. That's all I use for right now.
I mean, that's $6 a roll right there, and you can spool up. Now, I don't use this unless I'm out of my Andy Monster, because in my opinion, you can't beat Andy Monster, and I want
to try some of that Andy Monster.
It's
I've heard a lot of great stuff about it. A lot of people are using it, enjoying it, and I'd like to spool one of my poles up or two of them with it, just to compare the two, because I've always used big game. That's all I've ever used. So
this is off the spool, and I mean, it doesn't curl up.
It ain't got that memory curl like it does big game when it comes off the spool.
No, it's like a spaghetti noodle almost. Just not as hard. I don't know. I like it, and people say it's expensive, but this is a 1 pound spool, and it was like $54 for 1 pound.
But that's 1 pound. That'll usually last a fisherman, depending on how much you fish, about all year.
I've spooled 8 reels with this already, and I still have more left. So I don't know. No, I think that's about it for my budget stuff. I mean, the rods I just started upgrading not too long ago. I mean, all I used to fish was those ugly sticks, and the only reason I changed those, can I eat that line? Probably. I forgot to send Michael Murillo a picture of my fried chicken that I just ate. I fried some boneless, skinless chicken thighs.
Ooh, that sounds good. We had tacos tonight.
Hey, nothing wrong with tacos.
So you got any more questions, Stan the man, for old Palmetto?
No, other than just appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you so much. Normally I got my Palmetto shirt on, but I'm saving that for tomorrow morning, out for the fishing the James tomorrow. We're going to a different spot. So
I got one on for you. There you go.
There you go. I was hoping somebody would. I was going to point it out one way or another.
No, I really appreciate you having me on, Norm. I don't get this opportunity a lot, so I appreciate it just to come, in your show and to be a part of what you're doing. And Stan, I love you. But Norm I've known for a little bit longer, and he supported me from day one. And Norm, your support has never wavered, no matter what. And you're an amazing dude, man. I'll do anything and everything to help you, no matter what.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Palmetto.
Awesome, Palmetto. Thank you, Stas. I totally wholeheartedly agree. I'm honored to be here. Blew my mind when we talked about it. So I agree 100% with you.
You gotta have Palmetto in here somewhere. You gotta have Palmetto somewhere.
Norm's a good dude. Anybody in chat that doesn't already know that, you're missing out on it. And probably everybody in chat already knows that because they're here. But people that aren't here, you should be here, because Norm's a good dude. Mary's good people too. So anyway, I don't want to sit here and blubber on.
Oh, you're fine. Thanks, Palmetto.
I appreciate being here, Kevin. Thank you.
Y'all. Have a good night.
All righty. Oh, look at there. Creole donating. Thank you,
Boom,
Creole.
Brother Creole. Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, next we got up is Kentucky Big Cats and Bourbon. Are you ready, Tim? I think he's ready.
Can you hear me okay?
We got you.
We can hear you.
Okay, just making sure. This is the first time I've actually come on like this. Couple of things I'm going to cover tonight, and one's a little bit different. But first off, as far as rods go, when I started out and actually started targeting big catfish, I went with the Bass Pro Power Plus line. They're between $30 to $40. They'll handle about anything you want. Nice black-looking rods, and I never had a problem with them. I've upgraded since then, of course. I'm a braid man. Always been a braid man since I started doing this. And it started out with Power Pro. And I never had any issues with it, unlike some people as we've heard. But since lately, I went with the catfishing. And it's about half the price or more than the Power Pro, and no trouble at all with it. It is a little messy when you first spool it. Usually run it through a towel or put a jersey glove on or something like that. That'll clean that coating off a little bit because it can get a little bit messy. Hooks, I've always used Gamakatsu. I'm a diehard Gamakatsu person. I will never change from them unless I see something radically great about something else. But so far, in my opinion, they do what I want them to do. Sharp as can be.
So
good budget reel, the Cat Max from Bass Pro. Now you get after a whole lot of big catfish, you will start to see failures in them. You get up in the 30s and 40s and bigger continuously, they won't be able to handle the load after so long. But they're good to start with, and they're pretty inexpensive.
yeah, and they look really nice too for the price point they are. You know, I really like the color.
They do.
So let me ask you a question about that Cast King braid. I've heard some great stuff about it. Does it seem to be less abrasion on the eyes when you're using it than the Power Pro?
Well, I never had any problem with abrasion on the eyes using Power Pro. As long as it's a stainless steel eye without an insert in it, I never had an issue. So
yeah,
I never seen that myself. I don't know why or what I might have been doing differently, but never had that problem.
But
the casting does feel a little bit smoother.
I think the biggest problem issue is it's like me. I never used braid before, and Avid Fisherman sent me some braid one time to try, and I used it on a rod that had plastic eye inserts. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. After about the fourth or fifth trip, it started wearing a groove in my tip of my eye. And I was like, "Why is it doing this for?" And I got I've never used braid before. It's my first time ever used it since like 2007 when Spider Wire came out, when it first came out, and hit the shelves at Walmart. I never had experience with braid. And I was like, well, this stuff is trash. And then after I learned more about it, I'm like, I'm using a totally wrong pole and eyes for this line. So, that was my
I can't say anything good about Spider Wire. I've never heard anybody much say anything good about Spider Wire.
No. When I first tried it, whenever we got hung up in the Kentucky River, we would try to break the line, and instead of it breaking down next to the hook or where the leader was, it always broke up here at the tip of the eye of the pole almost, right below the eye every time. So we just stopped using it, and then I found Big Game Mono, and ever since then I ain't looked back.
Well, there's a trick to breaking braid, and the more you use it, the more you get used to how it feels and how to break it. You really got to wrap it around something. I usually carry a small wooden dowel, like a 1-inch dowel, piece of hardwood in the boat, and I wrap it around that. You get it tight, you got to give it a real sharp jerk real quick, and it'll break further down closer to your hook.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to be pulling it with the reel or pulling back against the pole or anything like that. You need to put it around something hard and get it tight and give it a real sharp, quick jerk, and it'll usually snap then further on out. I've learned that over the years using braid. In fact, I tried to go to mono after braid one time, and I couldn't do it. It drove me crazy. Of course, now, for my leaders, I use Big Game, Berkeley. You can't beat it for the price.
Thank you, Mike Outdoors and Adventures. I really appreciate it, my friend. Y'all are awesome, I swear.
Unbelievable.
But the one budget thing I wanted to hit went more towards a boat. Say you get your first boat, you've got a $500 boat or a $1,000 boat, and you want to get a rod rack on it. Well, you go looking at rod racks, unless you're a welder or you're really good at fabrication, those things cost money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, as long as your boat has one of these little thingamacallits. Well, we know what it is. It's an anchor cleat.
Yeah.
You can make your own for about $50. Or if you've got the metal balls on it, like your little Bass Buster does. All you need is a couple of U-bolts, 2x4, however long your boat is, to go from cleat to cleat, and some PVC pipe and a few nuts and bolts. Now, I'll give you an example here. You have to give me a second to get it in the camera. This was my post. Can we see it there?
Yeah, we see it, Tim.
Okay, that was my post rod rack. You've got the U-bolts on the end that'll go through the cleat and come back up, and you bolt the board down to it. Then all you got to do is take your PVC, a little glue with a cap, and whatever size you want to use. Make sure you cut it long enough to where that rod's got plenty of tension against it when anything pulls from it. And this thing, I've seen it handle anything up to 40 pounds with not a problem. And I mean, you can make that for about $50. You bolt them onto there, use a carriage bolt on the bottom, and then you can even adjust them or turn them to any angle you want.
That's really cool.
With ease. So it's a real nice, simple thing to get around putting it. And now you've got your rack and you got your holders all in the same process. And say about $50. That's about all that's in that, if even that. And spray paint in any color you want. Palmetto, heat painted green, of course.
Oh yeah, you know
Maybe you want
green.
Kentucky blue. Oh, you might want you've ever red. I don't know. But yeah, I decided to give a nice little cheap hack on rod holders for rod rack for a boat there, because I knew a lot of people would be focusing on tackle and so forth, and I think I tried to give an alternative for the first boat owner there. To do something without breaking the bank with the rod holders and everything.
Yeah, that looked pretty awesome. That was an awesome idea.
It's funny you bring up DIY rod holders, because I got a DIY small video. Well, it's not small, it's a long video coming up for Monday's upload. I added a rod rack. I didn't get the rod rack. The rod holders actually on yet. They was out of them, and I can't get them here until after the video. So that's just going to be another partial video to what I'm doing in front of the boat. But yeah, you don't have to, rod racks are expensive. They are expensive. And then I've been doing my research, trying to figure out what would work best for my little boat. It's a polyurethane boat. It's really hard to build stuff around a polyurethane boat. So, what I went with, I think will work. We'll find out.
Well, like I say, you've got them little metal balls on that, don't you? On part of it? Well, that might be an option there to go towards something like that, and you could probably go with like a 1x4 for something that small. Once you bolt it down, because your space isn't that wide. So therefore, any stress against it is not going to pull as heavy as if you've got an 8-foot wide boat where you need a 2x4. You could probably get by with a 1x4 being a smaller space you're covering.
Exactly. So, Tim, you got anything else to
if you
offer?
want stronger, then put a little bit more money into a piece of hardwood, like oak or something.
Yeah, oak would be a good option. Oak would be a very good option considering it's a hardwood. Tim, you got anything to offer for us tonight for some budget fishermen, some tips or any kind of gear you like to throw out there for someone that's looking to save a buck?
That's pretty much, I've already tossed out. The Power Plus rod from Bass Pro is a good heavy-duty starting rod for chasing big cats. The Cat Max reel from Bass Pro is good to pair up with them. If you like braid, the Cast King braid is a very good alternative to Power Pro. Like I say, as long as the quality keeps up on that, I'll never go back to Power Pro for the price difference. Power Pro is like John Deere. It's painted green, so you're paying for that name.
That's true.
Really, that's what it comes down to. They put out the first quality braid, in my opinion, that was semi-affordable at the time. But, if you need hooks, you can't afford the more expensive ones, go to Walmart, get the Eagle Claw. Anything to start with. You'll learn to use those. And you'll learn the tricks and techniques and the little quirks about things like that. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
and then you can't go up from there.
Yeah, you can't start out from the top and then, we've all started out somewhere,
Yeah, you start out from the top, you're not going to appreciate what you have, and you ain't going to take care of it either.
No,
Yeah.
see,
I got reels in the other room that I had when I was 8 years old. I got a 202 when I was 8. I've got my first Zebco 33 in there. I think I got an 808 sitting in there, and they all still work.
that's crazy. Yeah, see, I didn't buy my first brand new Abu Garcias. I've always bought them used. I didn't buy my first brand new Abu Garcias until last year. And man, the difference in a used and a brand new C3 Abu 6500. Oh man, because I've always
Well,
been
when I
used
first
to.
got into it, I was using Akumas. I was loving Akuma spinning reel. I wasn't even using bait casters. They drove me crazy at first. In the last
Yeah.
couple of years, I just finally forced myself to move over to them, and everything goes smooth now. But I used to use the Akumas because I did a lot of carp fishing along with catfishing in those days, and I always liked the bait runners. And they were big enough. The 50s, the 65s would handle any size catfish you wanted to on top of the carp fishing.
Well, the way I look at it is when you start out with a lot more of this budget-friendly stuff, and you get good at using that, and then you go up to say, the Abus, or you've already learned how to deal with equipment. You know how to take care of it. You know how to catch fish with the, the budget equipment. So when you go up to that next level, you're just automatically, it's like, wow, then you will know the difference, and you already know how to deal with it. So
Exactly.
that's my opinion.
Exactly.
Got any more questions, Stan the man, for Tim?
No, I just I'm glad he brought out had a little boat budget there, because a lot of times you don't hear a lot of anything budget about a boat, bust out another 1,000. So that was an awesome tip there, Big Cats. Appreciate you. We're glad that you found your way to us somehow, and you we always like hearing you. Always like
you
hearing
mind if
you.
I mention that little thing I talked about to you earlier?
Yep.
Can I mention that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I've been thinking about what I'm going to be doing for a show, and I think I'm going to try to cover like a late catfish show. I don't know what day of the week yet. I might try different nights. It'll probably start about 10 o'clock or so, and maybe go to midnight. A lot of nighttime people out there that does this sport. A lot of people work at night that's awake, and all the people out towards the West Coast that may not even be off work by the time some of these 8 o'clock shows start. So I'm going to try to fill that little niche there. And like I say, I'm in the works of getting it all together. I'm not sure what night, so I might try some different nights beforehand, but I appreciate everybody keep watch for that.
Yeah, we can't wait. Yeah, when you decide when you want to go on, just let us all know, and we'll be there, because there's a lot of late birds. A lot of people that are night birds or night owls, and that's why a lot of us go on 3 or 4 hours live, because there's so many others that want to watch late. They get off later, and and they're off during those times. So I think it'd be a good idea going late, getting on and going live later.
Yeah, there, Tim, Big Cats. I have a little bit of experience with that kind of late night talk that we were talking about there. We did you've been on them. You were there. You saw it. We've had 13-hour, 9-hour, just because people just wanted to keep talking. Some people would leave. More people would come in all night long. It was amazing. Up in the 20s, 30s of people just talking catfishing, and it was a lot of fun. I had people were laughing. We were talking all night long. So.
Oh yeah, I was there for a lot of it.
Yes, you were, sir.
Yes, you were.
Well, I appreciate you fellas having me on there. It's been a blast. And I hope somebody found some of the stuff I put out there useful, especially the cheap rod rack there. So I appreciate it. Peace, y'all.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Tim.
Tim.
Have a good night. All righty. Our next guest is, are you ready, Big Nasty? He's ready. He's always ready.
Welcome to the Budget Shack.
How we doing? How we doing?
Good, how y'all?
Doing pretty
Wonderful,
good.
wonderful.
Good. Y'all ready to see some budget stuff?
I am down.
I don't know if anybody's
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't know if anybody's covered anything this cheap or not. I'm a spinning man. So y'all gonna have to forgive me. I don't do bait.
Oh, there ain't nothing wrong with no spinning reel. I have some still.
I can throw them, but as soon as I get to the lake and throw it, it's a bird's nest. So I've just stuck with the spinning stuff. Kevin talked about the GX2 earlier when he was on, and that's what I caught my biggest fish on so far. It's 5104 on a GX2, and that was a ride.
You caught that up there at Lake Wiley, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I caught it off the busted board landing up there, and I just had the thing leaned up against a 2x6, and I looked. It's down on the ground going toward the water. It had, I think, 40-pound or 30 or 40-pound spider wire on it, and he just about spooled me. I was trying to slow him down. I was reaching up, grabbing the line and everything, and it was an awful mess. So I figured I better get me some bigger stuff. And I started out with when I upgraded a little bit, I didn't have a catfish rod to my name. I started out with these Zebco hog sinkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good backbone to it. I mean, it's a catfish rod, not terribly expensive. Most of the time they come with a bait alert type reel on them. But I always upgrade them, put these Quantum 60s or Quantum 80s on it.
Hey, them Quantums are good reels.
That reel there, for the money you spend on it, $24, I mean, you can't beat it.
No, you can't.
It's got a good smooth drag to it. When a fish takes off running and you think you're gonna have a little issue with him or whatever, it's good smooth drag on it. I mean, it's not jerky or anything like that. So a friend of mine, Christian Phillips, he gave me 2 of them rods, and I was very satisfied with them. But I was looking for more, and they upgraded at Walmart to these bait alerts. They're the same rod essentially. The hog sinker's got a triangular full grip on it right here. This one's got a round one, but it's basically the same rod. It's got a little hook back here where you can hook your hook on, and this is a Quantum 80 on that. They're a little bit more pricey. I think they're like $29.
Yeah, but for the price though, dude, you can't beat them. They're smooth.
I'm telling you, the bait alert reels, they'll serve their purpose for about a month.
Yeah,
those things don't last long.
They don't. It's like you can catch quite a few channel catch on them. If you start getting into the bigger fish, like 20s on them, they're done for. I don't know.
Right. That's exactly right. So normally what I do is I try to find a rod somewhere, and you can find them on eBay pretty cheap. You can find them on Marketplace pretty cheap. And I just
because I see you can probably find a lot of those for like a lot of sits for like $30-$40, can't you? You know how that rod there you have? You like have you ever?
I found it for $20 a piece.
See, you can't beat that.
Brand new. I mean, you can get them off eBay for about $20 a piece. Now shipping might be $5.
Yeah.
But I went to a rod and reel auction not too long ago in Lancaster, South Carolina, and they had a bunch of those rods, and they were auctioning them off for $20 a piece. So I bought like 5. And I've since upgraded and got a little bit better stuff since I got a boat. I just thought I didn't want to go ghetto rig no more. If Junior's watching, don't get mad at me. Don't fire me. but I just didn't. I was tired of having substandard stuff, so I started upgrading some better rods and reels, some pin reels and stuff like that. But this rod here, we picked it up at the auction. It was a little tsunami. It's nothing much to it. But just put a Quantum reel on it, you're good to go. I use 65-pound braid on it, reaction tackle braid, and you can anchor the boat with that stuff. And anybody that's fished with me, I'll tell you, that stuff's just about unbreakable. I pulled the boat with it.
So where do you buy that at?
I get mine offline. I get mine off eBay, or you can, if you got a Facebook account, you can go to Reaction Tackle, and a 500 yard spool of that stuff is $17.99.
That's not bad.
And you can get it in colors. I got it in blue. I got it in Jeff Gordon multicolored. I don't know if you say that. It's multicolored. The 1,000-yard spool is about, I don't know, it's in the 20s. I don't think it's over $27 for a 1,000-yard spool, but man, you can spool up 5 or 6 reels with that stuff, and it don't break easy. And what happens is once I use it a while, I'll spool it off on another reel and just, back it up on the other reel. That way you got the stuff that was down on the bottom and it's fresh. But that stuff takes a beating, boy. I mean, it don't bury down in itself like the spider wire. I heard you talking about the spider wire earlier. That stuff buries down in itself. It's kind of waxy feeling. This stuff ain't like that. But it looks like sewing thread, but it feels like a saw when it goes in your finger. I mean, it'll saw right through your finger. You got to be careful. And I use the offshore angler 80-pound leader line. I mean, this is actually saltwater line, but I was using 50-pound stuff before, and it was pretty tough. And I figured, I'm up at 80 since I got 65-pound main line. So that stuff's hard to break too. But usually, if you're gonna break something, you're gonna break this before you break the reaction tackle line. I don't know.
So,
why.
Big Nasty, what's the purpose of using mono for a leader with braid?
Well,
or at least what's the theory behind it?
I know mono has its place in the fishing world, and I'm no expert by no means, but
me neither. I ain't gonna lie.
In my opinion, I think that 80-pound mono is going to take a little bit more of a beating if a fish runs up at a log jam or something. The braid is pretty tough, but it won't take a lot of abrasion.
Okay.
It's rubbing up against stuff. It just won't take a lot of abrasion. But that 80-pound leader line seems to work good for me. And if I get a fish hung up or something, I'll kind of feel along of it and see if it, is frayed or anything like that, or kind of feel like it's got nicks in it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and replace it. But I usually make my leaders a lot longer than most people do, because I just want to have that line just in case they get in a log jam to where it'll stand up to it. But like I say, the reaction tackle line seems to break. I mean, the leader line, even though it's 80 pounds, it breaks a whole lot faster than that reaction tackle does. And they mostly break it in a knot. Wherever you get the knot, it's not going to come loose, but you'll see where it broke at the knot. So I use Team Catfish hooks about every time I go in Walmart. I'll buy a little pack of them and just stock up on them. I use the 8-aught, sometimes 10, depending on what I'm fishing for. But I've had good luck with this stuff, really, really good luck with it. And it served its purpose for a long time, and cheap stuff, Yeah. And you can throw it down in the dirt, and then dirt don't hurt. And you can't do an expensive reel like that. I'm not going to throw my pins down in the dirt. Also, something else I want to show you. I see a lot of people making planer boards, and I don't know if y'all feel like this about planer boards. Look, if you make planer boards and you make them like this, don't be offended by what I'm fixing to say. But if I pay $85 or $80 for a planer board and it's got foam and tape on it, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
So I started making my own. That is wood. Let me get this camera right. That is wood on the top. That's one piece.
That's nice.
It don't have any foam on it. It's real lightweight wood, and the blade is made out of just aluminum. I don't know what gauge aluminum it is, but on a set of these, I got about $30 in that set of planer boards, and they work really well. That was my first ones that I ever fooled with, and I'm planning on making more. I actually got the blades made for the next set already. I'm just trying to decide what kind of wood I want to use for the main part of it, and got to get some tools together to make those. But $80 for a set of darn planer boards. It's got foam on it, and they deteriorate, or plastic. plastic blades. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. I'll just make my own. So that worked out pretty good, I thought. And they pull good.
Combat Crawl says, show off that bait tank.
Show off the bait. You want to see the bait tank, boy? Do you really want to see the bait tank?
There's been a bunch of people calling for the bait tank.
For this bait tank?
Yeah. There's been more than one out there asking.
This is a budget-minded bait tank also. I've seen a lot of people.
I've seen you on Facebook bringing them home.
Yeah, it's I had them things stacked too high in the back of an S10 truck. Now, I'm telling you, there was box trucks going down the road that wasn't as tall as I was. And I got about $250 in this bait tank, and this worked out really good. I changed the water in it for the first time 2 days ago. I hadn't lost a fish except for carnivorous activity, of course, because I got 3 gar in here. And they're not but about a foot long, but let me unplug this phone so I can show you. Can y'all see down in there? I got 3 gar. I probably got 20 white perch, probably a dozen or more bluegill, green sunfish, and stuff like that in there. Now, I hadn't got the bubbler on. Watch this bubbles. It'll just about black it out when it gets going good. You won't be able to see a fish in there. But
that's what I need.
I wasn't having real good luck with the bubbler system that I was using because I was just buying an old aquarium bubbler.
Yeah.
And, trying to use that, and I was using those big old discs down there. It's probably, I don't know, they're probably 6 inches across, and it just wasn't doing the trick. So I got a nebulizer. And that's what kind of nebulizer I'm using. And that thing will chunk some bubbles out. You hear me? I mean, it, like I say, it blocks that water out. You can't see nothing in here when you walk in and the nebulizer's on. But I leave it on. And I got a homemade filtration system up under here. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of dark up under there, but it's got a pump and some bio balls. What a lot of people don't realize is you make a bait tank. And this is controversial as well. You make a bait tank and you get that thing going and you ain't got good filtration in it. You might hold fish for a couple of weeks. But the stuff that's in the water, you know, their own poop and pee and everything else, it's going to eventually kill them. If you got nothing to take the water out and you don't do water changes, you're just not going to get any satisfaction out of it. I think fish could breed in this, honestly.
So what kind of filtration is that? I know you got the biodegradable, the bio balls.
Yeah. It's really hard to explain if you're not an aquarist. See, I've been an aquarist all my life. I've had aquariums all my life. And the secret to a bait tank or any kind of thing that you're going to keep fish in is making sure it's biologically sound. You don't want your nitrates and your ammonia to spike on you. That's what kills the fish. Mm-hmm. So you got to make it a healthy environment for them. So what I do is this filtration I got up under here is not as elaborate as I wanted to go. It's just like a tote, a heavy duty tote. Not just one of the run-of-the-mill totes you go buy at Walmart. It's a little bit thicker where it won't bow out so much. And what I did was I put about 2 inches of lava rock in the bottom. You got to buy that stuff at Lowe's or Home Depot. Wash all the red out of it real good because it's kind of got a red tint to it. Wash the lava rock real good. Get you a good base in the bottom of it. And buy these little, there's baskets that you can buy to plant plants in to put in koi ponds. You just put your substrate or whatever you're going to use, rocks in it. And what I did was I put bio balls down in those baskets, and I bought some carbon offline. I got 10 pounds of it for like, I don't know, $20. And you wash that carbon off real good. When that water flows through that carbon, it does just like a drinking straw or something does, like these survival drinking straws. It filters the water. It makes it safe. So you got the water flowing over the top of the carbon, going through the bio balls, going into the sump, and the bio balls give the organisms a place to attach to. It's just like a septic tank in your house. It's no different. It's just the septic tank eats junk. Now, David Martin, he went a little bit farther than I did on his. He made pretty much a refugium in his. He put plants in it. So the plant.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that's a good idea. But I got mine in this little old building. A 12 by 16 building.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't leave lights on in here at night. So I don't have a refugium in mine. But, I put crayfish and all in here to eat the crap off the bottom. And they cleaned it up a good bit. I got about 2 dozen crayfish in the bottom, some big ones too. I call out the creek probably, 3 or 4 inches. And they clean up the bottom pretty good. But like I say, I hadn't lost any fish other than the gar, eating my little creek chubs and.
You got him out pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, they'll eat the threadfin shad and the stuff like that, stuff that they can get their mouth on. But shoot, I had 3-4 gizzard shad in here for 2 or 3 weeks, and they did fine. Me and Flint Hill took 2 of them out fishing with us the other day, so they didn't survive. And I had about an 18-inch carp in there that I gave to Brian the other day to fish with, so it worked out pretty good. But about $250 if you want to get in touch with me on Facebook. If you got my Facebook account or whatever, and you want to talk to me about it, I'll try to give you a parts list. You got to make manifolds and all kind of stuff to return the water and spit the water out, and pumps and stuff like that. But anybody that wants any information on it, just hit me up on Facebook, and I'll be glad to share it with you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely be get contact with you because, sometimes you got to pay to play. It's, especially with live bait tank. Sometimes you got to spend it.
It gets old getting ready to go fishing, and you got to go out and fish for 2 or 3 hours to catch bait to go fishing.
I know that feeling, and it sucks.
So if I can snatch 6 or 8 fish out of here and take them fishing with me, and I get the morning bite, and then in the afternoon I'll just catch me some more bait before I come back home. So me and David Martin's supposed to be going to Lake Norman in the morning to try to catch some stuff if he gets his live scope on his boat. But glad y'all let me share some of this stuff with you. Hope it helps somebody for the budget-minded people anyway.
Oh, yeah, I say it did.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm glad you got to come in here and just get to talk with everybody, let everybody see the real big nasty. So it's been a pleasure having you on.
You ain't seen the real big nasty.
all right. Just the face of one. Let's just one step at a time. One step at a time, right?
It ain't bad. It ain't bad. Some of these other people will fish with me. They'd probably say, "God Almighty, boy." It ain't bad. All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate y'all letting me on the show. We'll see y'all later.
All right,
you're welcome anytime, Big Nasty. Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Norm, before we jump to anybody else, when it goes to the 2-person screen like that, is the picture bigger? Can y'all see better at home? I've been jumping out. I've been jumping out when the guest is trying to show something, just so that their picture is a little bigger so everybody can see it a little better.
I tried changing over the format to where it makes the guest a little bit bigger, but it's not changed it for some odd reason tonight. I've been still playing with it. Yeah,
so I've just been clicking out the cam, and it seemed like it was making it a little bit better, so everybody could see what they're trying to show a little better.
All righty, for our next guest up, Mike Greenwell. He's been waiting for a minute. Sorry for the wait.
No problem at all. I'll keep it short and sweet. I just got everybody uses those drift socks. Well, instead of buying a drift sock, go get you a 5-gallon bucket. Some holes in that boy, and you got you a drift bucket.
Now I'll tell you something else you can use with a 5-gallon bucket like that. You can make it a really good live bait bucket. to keep your bait in alive too, sunk underneath the water.
Oh yeah. I got some of these that I use for lower current, and I got some that I use for a higher current situations. I drill the hose a little bigger for the higher current.
Do you put more holes or just the bigger holes?
Just bigger hose.
Bigger hose. Okay.
And tomorrow we're gonna go check out the Green River, and it don't have much current at all. So I drilled some small holes in it, and seems to hold the boat pretty steady.
So what size boat are you using these on?
17.5 foot.
17.5 foot. So do you use those you're using those for drifting, correct?
I know we use them for anchoring, drifting, everything.
Oh, okay. See, I don't.
Anything you'd use a drift sock for, you'd use a drift bucket. Same.
That's pretty cool. I wonder if I could.
It doesn't have a lot of current. It might have like 0.4, 0.5 tomorrow. So you want everything you can to kind of help keep that boat straight. So put 2 of those on each ends, and it'll hold you steady. And I think the bucket, get them for like $2.55.
And those drift socks, especially if you lose one, they're not too cheap. They're not the cheapest thing in the world.
And if you forget and you take one to the ramp with you and you put it in reverse, it gets wrapped around the prop and it don't last.
No. I could only imagine cleaning that out from a propeller. Oh.
Yeah, that sucked. I went swimming that night.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Danny has gave a super donation almost every night I've went live for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, my friend.
I didn't know if I was going to make it in time. I was actually driving home from the ramp to make sure the ramp looked good, and ran into some traffic on 41. It was backed up a little ways.
Yeah, I know. You was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. And then I see you pop in. He made it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you did, Mike. We're glad that you did.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the invite, fellas. Appreciate the invite.
You're welcome. You got anything else to offer these budget-minded people or anybody
else? I've heard everybody talk about rods and reels, and if you're going to be on a budget mind for catfishing, man, you can't go wrong with the what are they? The Catfish Ugly Sticks. I use them for bait rods now, but
yep.
Can't go wrong.
No, sir, you can't.
That's what I started out with 5 years ago. Go buy them for like what, $40 brand new. I mean,
I don't know if you saw that. Mike Palmetto said his drift sock was $145.
Ooh-wee.
So that bucket will save you. You said $2 a bucket. Well, there's $143 saved right there.
Yeah. my extended rope here. I think it was like $5. So I got $7 in a drift sock.
You got any more questions, Stan the Man, for Mike Greenwell?
No. Like I said, just glad that he was able to make it in here on our opening night here. Wish him luck tomorrow out fishing.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Mike Greenwell.
See you guys. Thank you.
See ya. Good luck tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. We got one final guest coming up. Everybody knows him. He's throwing his arms up. He's ready. He's ready. Now, don't break the camera. You just got on.
What are you talking about? This is gorgeous right here now.
No, I'm talking about karate chopping the camera.
Oh, I might actually knock the camera out. The wind was blowing so hard. Well, both of my spots, the wind was like 25, 30 miles an hour. I couldn't even cast. I couldn't cast like 5 feet off the bank. Well, it was just blowing it right back.
I was wondering what
like
happened
5 ounces. What's that?
I was wondering what happened to you. I knew Stan said you might be going live tonight, and I was like, well, it's 8:30. I still ain't seen him on here yet.
Yeah,
so.
I was looking.
I certainly did try. I actually got set up, everything got casted out, man, but it was just like as soon as I cast it, the line just kept, and the wind was howling so hard. I'm a little bit more of a fair weather kind of guy.
And Timmy,
I'm just fishing hurricane weather.
It just wouldn't have been the same one of your lives without Mama's Fire going there. So,
Uncle Josh, hey, Mr. Don Harris, what's up, everybody? So yeah, I just wanted to pop in, finish the show out right.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. For those that don't know, Timmy 1 Ton, Timmy from Chesapeake Bay Catfishing, Art and Josh from 1 Ton Fishing. My good brother, LG Bass. We had a little get together last weekend. The only bad part of it is I wasn't able to get them on any. Well, Timmy caught that monster.
Who caught that? I mean that monster.
It was nuts at like 15.
Didn't even fit him in the camera shot.
But what an amazing day that was. Other than the no fish, but
oh, gorgeous day. I wish today would have been like that day for sure.
Y'all had a good time though. Y'all all joked around, got to meet each other in person. Y'all got to eat. It was a great time. I felt
on the bank.
I felt left out.
Everybody's bringing food. We're snacking and eating all day long. I mean, what else are we gonna with Stan and 1 Ton and Tom, LG Bass? I mean, what else are we gonna do all day? Maybe next time we'll catch fish.
Yeah, next time we will. Next time we will.
Awesome.
So what'd you bring in for us tonight?
Oh, so I wanted to show off. If I can, my little office is kind of small for these 8-foot rods, but I wanted to show off my Berkeley big game rods. These things are phenomenal. I mean, for the price, I mean, you get these for like $22 on Amazon and like about the same at Walmart. These things are 8-foot, medium heavy. There's like, how I got into them was I saw a review video on catfish and carp. He did a review on one of these rods, and he was talking about the price of them at Walmart. So the first thing I did was run to Walmart and see if they had any. Because they were 8-foot. They got these big. Some guys don't like these big, thick, like foam buttstocks on them. But I gotta tell you, I kind of like this because I got big old mandibles. So
yeah, big hands. You gotta have big handles.
I like these big foam. Like those little surf rods and stuff. Got those tiny little buttstocks. But these things are kind of along the same lines as ugly sticks. I mean, these things. There's one good video out there on YouTube. It shows a guy lifting like a dude in a chair or something like that without it breaking, stand on a ladder. And these things are almost indestructible, I believe. I've done everything. I've caught multiple 22+ pound catfish on these and never once had an issue with these rods. They're cheap, affordable. Of course, I'm the Walmart king. So I'm the king of Walmart. Everything I buy is probably from Walmart. So rod holders, I mean, you name it, I find everything there and I can use it.
There ain't nothing wrong with Walmart. Walmart's got some good.
Nothing wrong with Water World. Nothing at all. So now what I put on these is I use the Quantum Optics 60s, also from Walmart. And I tell you what, for a $24.95 at Walmart for a budget reel, these things are money. They got a sweet drag. I like the big beefy handle. That's what I like on there. So you can really crank down on those fish. I never had any issue with fish like slipping or the drag like not holding or anything with these reels. Oh. Man, it's a big rod, 8-foot. So you get a good casting distance on there. And one thing I do like, that you can't really see right here, is I like, because this thing's got a full backbone. Like, they got a real sturdy
backbone. They do.
Yeah, all the way. I mean, they got a large backbone. Backbone goes all the way up almost to the tip, but you get some pretty takedowns with these rods, especially the medium heavy. But I mean, I stay budget all the way. So the line I use is, of course, Berkeley Big Game. So I like Berkeley all the way, pretty much. Berkeley Big Game, 30-pound, and then I use 50-pound test leader, it's just the Omniflex from Walmart, the cheap clear, and that stuff works.
Yeah.
That stuff works great. Yep, there it is. That's exactly what I use all the time. And now I do go a little bit. I do buy the Gamakatsu, like pre-made catfish rigs. They come in 28-inch, 50-pound mono with already snelled circle hooks, and you can buy those all the way up to 8/0, I think, as well on Gamakatsu's website. You can get them all the way up to 8/0 size. But I did notice that. No. They make they make them an 8-foot, even the casting rods. Now, right now, I noticed that Berkeley and Walmart and everybody is sold out. Even Amazon sold out of just the rods only. So the Berkeley.
Yeah, I want some of the casting rods, but they have not had them all year. None.
You can get them on Berkeley's website.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on Berkeley's website. You can get the casted ones. I did see the casted ones on Amazon, and they still have the actual combos. So they actually have a spinning rod and reel combo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's good. Those are only like like $50, like $49.99, I believe. So I just ordered another one. That's the only way I can get it. Because I gave one away. I gave a brand one away when I hit my 50 subs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody showed off the ugly stick catfish rods yet. But this is the new one. This is the combo.
I like that.
Oh yeah, that reel is nice. It's got the nice handle. So this is the actual spinning rod and reel combo. This one's actually still brand new. This is $49.99 at Dick's.
That's not bad at all.
No.
And these are 7-foot, medium heavy. These are beautiful, pretty rod. So this is actually, when I get back up to 200 subs, this is what I'm actually going to be giving away. This is brand new, and this will be hopefully do it before Christmas. Get it to somebody before Christmas, because this would be a perfect rod to give to if you got that kid in the neighborhood, or a kid of your own, or whatever, or somebody you know is starting out. This is like the perfect catfish setup.
Hey, you don't even have to be starting out. We catch fish on that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I use it.
I have that ugly stick, the catfish combo right there. Mm-hmm. I had one that I got it like 5-6 years ago with the reel that's on it.
It's not busted if I keep buying.
And that reel has lasted 5-6 years. The drags work smooth. It's the one that was before that. The other one was black and gold. But on that note of the 200 subs, if somebody could put Chesapeake Bay's
two more
link, we only need 2 more subs. I'm sure we can get them there tonight. We need to get them up over the 200. For those that haven't seen Timmy's lives, lots of energy, lots of light. You got fire. You got it's always a good time.
You got Mama. Mama's doing network.
You can't.
Mama's cooking usually.
Oh man, we even brought out. Tonight we were going to go live, but we even brought out the stove. Was going to make ramen, like Korean ramen, and cheesy ramen actually, because I want to throw some cheese in there. But we also brought a bunch of cocoa. We're going to make some cocoa and everything else tonight. But man, the wind was just too much. But so that's just wanted to pop in, say hey to everybody, and show off my little rod and reel combos that I like to use.
But see, that's not bad. $49 for a whole combo, and we know they work. I mean, everybody's used them, so that would be a really good step up from, like, say, just a $17 or $20 Shakespeare combo. That would be a pretty good significant step up from that combo to that.
Oh, it's next big step up. And then even the Berkeley big game rods, and if you get the Quantum 60s, I mean, that'd be like your next level because that's an 8-foot medium heavy rod with a big reel, with that big cranking reel. So I mean, if you're going to step up your game up to big fish, then that's about the best budget way you can do it. Because that's only, like I said, it's like $25 for the reel, for the spinning reel, and like $22 for the rods for an 8-foot medium heavy rod. That's
like it's going to get
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can get your money. And then if you do happen to snap one dead in half, you're not super brokenhearted over it.
No, it's not like you're out $100. I mean, come on. And it's
Not like
also a good thing. It's also a good thing too. Say you're one of those fishermen that leave his gear in back in the truck all the time. You know, there is people that will rob you blind. So if that happens too, you know, you're like, oh man, well, you know, I mean, it sucks. It sucks, but you have to think about that ordeal too.
Oh, Norm, you see what that is right there?
I see it.
Kentucky Wildcats, baby.
Wildcats.
My whole office is full of that stuff.
I know whenever I was watching you live and you had LH, everybody's like, oh, what kind of beer is that? I've never seen that kind of beer. I'm like, oh no.
Every time I know, here I am people think I'm drinking beer on live show, you know, just chucking bottles into the river and whatever.
Well, Timmy, here we go. There you are, 204, my friend.
204. Woo! Yeah, all right. Giveaway time.
That is
love
awesome.
it. How many people we got in here?
It says 44 people.
44 people. Wow. Nice. I got to remember to go back up in here and put my thumbs up.
So, what kind of hooks are you using?
So, I'm using Gamakatsu A-Dot circle hook. Yeah, I like Gamakatsu. Them things are, I mean, just strong, just medieval hooks. I mean, with just sharp. Yeah, I mean.
Now, I've heard stories. You're fine. I know I heard people saying stories about they broke the Gamakatsu. Now, back in the early mid 2005 to 2010 era, there was some Gamakatsu hooks that did have that trouble. Apparently, they was using a really cheap material still to make them in, or whatever they was using to make. But here recently, in the past couple of years, I haven't seen that issue as much. You know,
I tell you, I have bent an eagle claw straight out, like big hook, like 8-9 hook. Yeah. I have bent them straight out. I've never bent out a Gamakatsu or broke one, and I get hung up all the time. I got hung up twice tonight.
So that's why you want to come home early. That's what it is.
That's what it was. Once I started breaking them off, I get frustrated, and I'm like, I'm out of here.
Well, you got to think, even that lead at Walmart's not cheap. You know, I buy them little packets of the no rows from Walmart, like $4.98 or $5.98. It's got like two ounces, 3 ounces. You know, and that's what I usually buy. And even that's not cheap.
Yep, I buy the no rolls. I buy everything they can possibly get that's catfish related. I snatch it up because it goes quick.
Yeah, it does.
People buy them out. Mm-hmm.
I know every time I go in, they'll have the bullet weights, you know, and I'm like, I don't want bullet weights. I want no rows. I want the good stuff.
Yeah, well, unless I'm using the sinker slides, and then I might get those bank. What they call the bank sinkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, we're on that catfish. We're on that catfish wagon as it's doing this. So we hit that at the right time. It's you look at, like you said, you look at Walmart, all the catfishing stuff. It's in and gone, in and gone. You look at even all the new channels, the new lives. Timmy, you and I are within the past few months, and you're just killing it out there. So.
Oh my goodness! The amount of live shows that are coming on every single day and night now, you know, within this community, and new people popping up every day. I mean, like I know, like Paul's. Who's that? I just saw today. First time I'd seen it. Paul's Nation.
Yep.
Paul's Nation. Man, he's live right now. And
the fishing magician. He's over in Chunky Spot, and he caught a 40-pounder, and man, he is just slaying them over there. That
Yeah,
Then you got
I was watching
Mike-
before. I was like, man, do I wait to go live or do I keep watching him? He was doing good.
I know.
and
yeah, that was-
Mike Costello Outdoors out there with his son Noah and daughter Taylor out there. They're live right now, I believe.
Yep.
So
Several hours. So I was like every night. I think DMV's even live tonight.
He is.
Mhm.
You know, that's what
usually
really
Saturdays
shocked me.
he's Saturdays unless he has Princess.
Man, they've got that. They've got that area though, man. The Potomac River is just huge producer of just massive catfish. They got a massive catfish population down there.
Yeah, Douglas. I don't never watch TV. On YouTube usually. YouTube is replaced my TV. Does anyone know of a low profile reel that holds 30
Test. I don't. Not off the top of my head.
I've seen some people using the Cast King. It's something 7-to-1 ratio. I've been seeing them using them for catfishing with low profile.
I mean, they're gonna hold 30-pound test, but you're only gonna get 150 yards on 30-pound test.
I think they're using that low profile for the bumping rods is what I think that's coming into catfishing now.
Yep. But yeah, it's the only problem with low profile, unless you're going to braid. But a lot of guys are going to braid with bumping because they feel that you can put a whole lot more line of braid on a low profile. And well, I mean, bass fishermen have been doing that for years because you use heavy braid. Like I know on my bass rod, I had 50-pound braid on there, fishing for snakehead because where we fish at in the thick cover and stuff like that, where you pull these catfish out of the thick grass, you got to have super strong line. You got to have heavy line to pull them snakeheads out of that grass. And the thing about it is that mono tends and heavy grass and stuff like that, heavy cover, mono tends to get cut up. But with braid you can whip it and it'll literally slice through that grass like butter. 50-pound braid will just right through that grass, just knock it right down. So that's why I like heavy braid on low profile for that type of fishing. And then you can get 200 or 300 yards of braid on a low profile at 50 pounds. So you could definitely go 50 pound and higher braid, low profile, and get more than enough line that you need. Yep. And cheap.
I will say this: when I use braid, I use it for just a couple of trips. I could feel everything. I even used the braid for the leader. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I'm going to use braid. I'm not going to lie. But I was catching 15 and 20-pound drum with it and not had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was using 2 ounces weight, 2 ounce weights, and I could feel that drum pick up that night crawler and just swim off with that braid. The mono, you have to wait until he gets a little tension built up on the rod to feel it. You know what I mean? Until you start feeling that pull. That braid, you could, if you had it tight, you could feel it get picked up and actually move.
Oh yeah, you could feel so much with braid, and it's fun fishing panfish with braid. Just get you because you can use 8 pound or higher. You can use big braid for catching. I'll put it on a small ultralight pole, and you hardly know it's even on there.
My buddy, he uses 20 to 30-pound braid on his bluegill poles. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, you're blue. And he's like, well, it's thin, so I'm going to use it.
Yep.
And he has no problem catching big bluegill with them.
You just got to be careful with braid on smaller poles because when you try to pull it out of something, you'll snap your pole. You'll snap the tip right off of it dead in a second. If you get hooked on a rock in the creek or something like that, and you're fishing creek wading, you're fishing for bluegill, so then you use some braid. Yeah, if you're not careful, you try to. You snap your. He's not gonna lie. Palmetto, man, he just sits back there in the background and just kind of throws comments out there.
Oh, by the way, I think we were supposed to be Norm. You were supposed to be saying. You were supposed to be saying "ain't gonna lie," and we were both. Everybody was supposed to be bringing up chicken. There was supposed to be that game going on where every time that Ain't gonna lie, your chicken was mentioned.
I have not said that word all night for that.
Start going, boys. You got a few to go right now.
I forgot about doing the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad said for every time someone says chicken, that don't count, Chad. I'm sorry, I have to say it now because he brought it up.
That's
but
right.
Chad said for every time Norman says chicken, we're going to take shots. And then during that live stream when they was doing the 1-versus-1 on Catfish and Crawfish channel, Chad when he gets muskrat. I said, well, it's a good thing we wasn't planning on trying to get drunk watching Chad because we would have took a shot every time we caught a fish. We wouldn't have caught nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was I come in at 8:12 this morning. I watched the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. And if J Dog is still here, J Dog was me and J Dog's getting pretty good. We're pretty good friends now. And he's like, you know what? He said, what if we call out somebody? He said, well, who can we call out? And of course, he's in the comments, and then he finally comes out and says, hey, let's do me and you versus Chad and Muskrat. So now me and J Dog's got to go against them two sometime or another. And it's really going to like it. Yeah, it's really going to throw me for a whirl because y'all know I don't do winter fishing. I don't do winter catfishing. So the past couple of days, ever since earlier today, I've been on Google reading up on catfishing wintertime, reading, trying to get some information. And believe it or not, I've learned quite a few stuff. Like they said on there, sometimes the smaller baits work best in the winter. I've learned that you want to find any kind of rock structure or any kind of wood structure is good. Opening up the mouth creeks, because sometimes the creek's water coming out is a little bit warmer than the main channel water.
Yep.
It's like I've learned so much. I mean, I can't say I've learned it because I have not got out to try it yet, but I'm picking up, getting ideas of how to do it or what to look for or just to go about it, because
if you got factories or you got reactor sites and stuff like that, they're doing they're dropping their what do they call it, their hot water discharge.
Yes.
Any little areas like that, anywhere where there's a temperature change, where you have creek beds, where you have creeks, other rivers running into your main channel and stuff like that. Anywhere like that, you're going to have a temperature because you got to remember your creeks and your rivers, they're going to stay at constant temperature all winter because they're constantly moving. So they're going to stay like in the 40s, 50s, or like a constant temperature. Hardly ever get below freezing unless they slow down.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to look for. I want to look for some factories that are dropping in that hot water. And see, on the Kentucky River where I'm at, they used to have a warm water discharge coming out of the coal factory. So I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but I looked on Google Maps and it looks like it's not there no more. So I'm like, well, is it there or did they change it? Because I've seen a lot of great videos of people catching bigger fish, even crappie. My uncle, he used to love fishing that little warm water coming in from that factory. He would burn big crappie up in it in this wintertime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where your bait fish is going to migrate or hang out.
Well, that was the point I was going to bring up. Anybody looking to catch shad in the wintertime with the cast net, you look for those areas where that warmer water is. That's where you're going to find all your bait fish right there.
Yep, that's where you cast net. That's where you fish right where that falls into. You want to get into the, then you want to find the fish where they're setting up and where their feet are coming in to feed, and they're going back and they're spending their nights and spending their sleeping or during the day or whenever they're laying up. Of course, everybody knows that you want to fish where the sun on the sunny side in the mornings when the sun comes up and hits that shallow water, and those are always good, just tips and tricks for winter fishing.
Sorry, I was looking at my phone. I had to add a few moderators.
I always used to transition in the wintertime from catfish to like trout and stuff like that because you can fish, and then because you can fish for trout and everything else because they usually stock in the wintertime. And that's usually what I'd be tearing up in the wintertime because I'd be fishing in the holes in the ice, and catching trout and stuff like that.
Yeah, that trout was a cold water fish to begin with, so.
Yeah, I was going to go do some trout fishing the other day, but then it started raining. I was like, well, I don't know what if people would actually enjoy watching me trout fish, because I don't trout fish like a normal trout fisherman. I'm throwing chicken liver out there and I'm catching rainbow trout with chicken.
So that was chicken liver. You're going to use chicken liver for trout, Norm?
Yeah, I've got videos on my channel where I fished through an ice hole, where I had to break an ice hole in this pond that I fish in and catch trout with chicken liver through the ice.
You're using what kind of liver?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't even think Chad's even here no more. He probably don't feel asleep. He had he went to bed with his tail tucked between his legs. His ego's a little sore today. So.
He got a little squash today. Yeah. He's
Now,
fishing on the wrong side of the river, I guess.
Yeah. Now, the Ohio River, it's a great river, but it doesn't have the numbers like it used to. Take Steve Douglas. Steve Douglas knows that river, and that man can tell you all about it, and so can people that's lived around it for the past 20, 30 years. They know when there's a change and where there's an effect in the river. You take those people's opinions first. Like me, I know from what I've gathered through people and people fishing and telling these stories, even me learning from other people, that I know it's changed. But you can't really take my 2 cents with it, because I ain't fished it a whole lot. I've only fished it maybe 14 times now.
Mm-hmm.
So, So I love trout, trout like chicken.
Up here in the north, we haven't had a big fish kill in a while. It's usually when the pH drops. We lose pH, we lose oxygen levels, we'll have a huge fish kill. I've gone up the Susquehanna River, just drove up it, and just seen catfish just covering the banks, and then of course all the birds, eagles, and just littering the banks. We have huge fish kills usually up here, sometimes, and it really depends on how well they got the dam moving. And usually they got if the gates are not moving, when you got water moving in the Susquehanna, then your oxygen levels and your pH and stuff go haywire, and we usually have huge fish kills.
Buddy Jeremy Andrew, he is from Australia.
Wow,
that is awesome.
Nice.
He does a lot of carp fishing over. He does some pretty good carp.
I said they probably do. I wonder if they do how well they do in catfish over there.
I don't know.
I've never really seen many people fishing in Australia for catfish.
No, you don't. I wonder even what species they have there.
I don't know. I wonder if they have like the European, like the whales catfish or some type like that or something.
Man, that would be one invasive fish you would not hear me complain about in my river.
that is big red tail catfish.
I would be happy if they made it to our rivers. Yeah, they may eat the other catfish, so what? But you take 200 and 300 pound Wells catfish, you ain't worried about them 180, 90 pound blues and flatheads no more. You're wanting that 300 pound fish.
It surprises me that somebody through the years has not brought a bunch over here, but it's
no, we got Asian carp. We got What were they thinking?
Well, you see, there it is. There's a solution to the Asian carp problem. Bring in Wells catfish to eat the Asian carp.
Boy, they would grow quick here.
We're gonna have some 500 or 600 pound Wells catfish.
And the thing is, you can go buy musky lures and fish for them, because they're like a bass. They're just so aggressive.
Super.
I see people throwing them little fake ducks out there, and them 7 and 8 foot long catfish just smacking it like a bass. You're like, wow, well, I got to try that.
That used to be a big thing. Fishing for catfish was baby ducks.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that. I know people up there at Cave Run that they use them fake ducks for the muskie up there at Cave Run, and they do pretty good with them.
I've seen some ducks up here lose. I've seen some babies out on the Susquehanna to like big stripers and stuff like that. Get out there in the water. Oh yeah, they'll get snatched in a heartbeat.
That's nature. Some people are like, oh, that's so. Well, it's
circle, man. The circle of life. That's how it goes.
Life. All right, Stan the man. You got any more questions for Timmy?
Anybody got any questions out there? Nope. Nobody, nowhere.
All I want to say is Timmy's been awesome getting to know you. I'm sure we're going to definitely meet up. We live not that far apart. Congrats on the 200. Keep killing it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
After meeting
I
you,
definitely
it's been amazing.
I want to hang out with like everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's possible, but I want to hang out with every single person that like comes into the chat and that's in the catfish community, that's YouTubers. And I want to hang out with everybody.
You imagine if we all lived in the same area, it'd be so hard getting gear and bait and tackle.
We wouldn't be able to bait, we wouldn't be able to get tackle. There'd be no fish.
Be no food.
No food, definitely no food.
There'd be no buffet safe anywhere. You couldn't keep a buffet open.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you and Mama saved the buffet that we were gonna go to. But that Begoli was worth it. That was amazing.
Yeah. And she made 2 big giant pots of it this past week for a couple of guys at work because their wives loved it so much.
Ooh. Amazing.
Oh yeah, she's cooking away. I think we're gonna do Korean spare ribs here.
Ooh.
For too long.
Good. That's really good.
Little Korean spare ribs. Oh man, they're delicious.
Have y'all noticed every live catfish show ends up with food? It's every show. It's not just 1 or 2. It's everyone. Maybe we should stop getting on here going live while we're hungry. I just had tacos. I shouldn't even be thinking about food. I don't know.
Hey, catfishermen are some healthy boys. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, we're some healthy boys. All right.
Healthy, all right.
All righty, everybody. Man, this has been an awesome night. I really don't want to end it, but I've been on here for almost 2 hours now.
That's awesome. 2 hours, man. It just flew by. I didn't even realize it. Just talking.
It did. It went by so quick. But guys, that's gonna be our wrap for tonight. I had a great time. Timmy, thanks for stopping in tonight and sharing some light on what Roger
Hit that thumbs up.
And congrats on your 200 subs.
Thank you, gentlemen.
My Maddie wanted to say hello and goodbye to everybody.
Hey,
Hi, Maddie.
Bye, Maddie.
Bye, Maddie. Good night, everybody. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.